So today with us, we have a very, very special guest, Marvin Berglas. Thank you so much for coming. You are, without any doubt, one of the most successful entrepreneurs in magic. I mean, you created an empire with magic, and it's crazy what you did. And I must tell you this because it's 100% the truth. You are one of the main persons why I'm a magician, and probably if it was not because of your magic, I will not create new illusions for magicians, you know? So thank you so much for coming.
Wow, that makes me feel incredible because, you know, you and your name and your reputation in magic is phenomenal as well. And to think that I got you started in there, I hear that from, thankfully, lots of people, but it's always great when it's from a professional and someone who's really gone to the top of their industry as well.
Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. You know, one time I told you this already, but I was with Copperfield and I told him, you know, I never ask pictures of anyone. I only ask for two people. It's Copperfield and you. So I mean, it really means a lot, you know, because there was one shop called the Imaginarium, which is in a shopping called the Rábida here in Portugal. And there was a friend of my parents that when he came to Portugal, he always brought me a magic set. So I remember perfectly having the small Svengali deck with the older boxes, the black ones, you know, where the fantastic box of tricks with those things when you make everything appear in there.
Yeah, even the box was an illusion. You open the box, it's empty, then you shut it. You say Marvin's magic, you open it up, and then the props appear. Yeah.
Yes. I remember and also a small matchbox where it allowed to make a trick with the coin. I think you know
that was the secret box of tricks. So we had an empty box full of close-up illusions. Yeah, and sometimes that particular trick was a great trick. I remember the coin disappearing, and funny enough, the explanation and method of that trick was probably even more fantastic than the effect. You know.
Yes. Great. So you launched this brand Marvin's Magic when I was 1 year old. So it was in 1987.
That's right. Yeah.
So you were a professional magician before. You performed at Magic. How did you came up with the idea of launching? Because I mean, it's very difficult. You are extremely successful, but it takes a lot of hard work to have an empire like you. I mean, it's not something that it's easy to make. So also further in this talk, I would like you to speak a little bit about that. But first, how did you came up with Marvin's Magic, the amazing brand that we all know today?
You know, I really believe that in life there's sliding doors moments, you know? One opportunity leads to another opportunity. And if you've got good integrity and reputation, and you work hard and you have, more importantly, a passion and a belief in something, things happen and people want to associate with you. And it really is from that because as many would know that I grew up in a famous magical family. My dad, David Berglas, obviously was one of the most influential magicians of the 21st century. But the reality was that I wasn't that interested, I'm sorry to say to our magician friends, in magic as a child because it was the norm. It was, you know, we were surrounded by magic, but it wasn't really our thing, you know. And it took a few years later before I really got into it. So, and that's probably because Dad was traveling a lot. When we were kids, he was working abroad in many different countries, away from home a long time. And so I think the fact that I wasn't steeped in magic and as a sort of hobbyist at an early age, probably helped me greatly to know the difference. And I used to speak about this to Dad quite a lot, who was never associated with the business as such, and I definitely wanted to keep it slightly separate, not follow exactly in his footsteps. But I think it gave me an insight to the different things, to looking at things in a different way. And so I approached it very much in a different way.
Great. So when did you, do you remember when you saw your first magic trick? You were probably
Sure. I mean, I remember as a 4 or 5 year old, I was on a TV program with my dad, my favorite children's program with me and my brother. And it was really, you know, exciting, etc. And some of our, you know, his friends were some of the best magicians around the world. Henry Blackstone, Mark Wilson, Marvin Roy. These are names that we grew up with, you know. But Tommy Cooper, David Nixon, Paul Daniels, you know, friends of the family. But actually, the ones that I really saw was, I was at school and Dad was had a book out and some special cards that he was demonstrating, which did all sorts of flourishes. And I got a call from school, when I was in school, when I was about 16, saying, the guy who's going with Dad for this convention in Lyon in France is not well. Is there any chance you could help out? And so I thought, well, it's better than doing this geography lesson at school. So sure, I went.
Right.
And from that, I got bitten by the bug because he was doing a lecture, and I was in the back of the room with all the guys selling books.
How old were you at the time? How old were you?
16, 17.
16, okay.
And what happened is my natural instinct was, you know, this is a quiet area. I want to be in a busy area. So I went to the organizer and said, look, can you put me here? It was right bottom of the escalators. And all of a sudden I was demonstrating these flourish cards that Dad had showed me, where you could spring them and fan them. And all of a sudden, when he came back from his lecture, he was surprised that I had a huge crowd around me. And, and I'd taken to it quite quickly. So I really enjoyed demonstrating. I enjoyed the tension that it could bring and the expertise that you could do and the smiles to faces. And I think that was my moment, because that's when I thought, wow, this is good fun, you know. And but I used it more for, you know, I wasn't ever thinking about being a professional at that time. I was thinking, oh, if it gets me to the front of a queue in a nightclub to meet girls or to whatever, it would be useful. You know? So, but it was good fun. So that's really when I first got bitten by the bug, you know.
So you start learning magic. You started absorbing all of the things that there are to learn, and it was your idea. I mean, how did it all happen? I mean, you woke up one day and said, I want to create my own magic set. I want to sell magic to people. So how did that passion pass from doing some tricks and learning some tricks to starting with a magic set? And which was the first product that you designed? Well?
It's a story, but the story was basically that I went, I had a product which was called the Magic Drawing Board, and I was 18 at the time, and it was an old product even then, and it's a way of drawing in bright colors with no mess, and it was a great product, but it needed to be shown and demonstrated. And so those same skills that I had when I was in the convention, I took it to the biggest toy shop in the world, which was in Hamleys in London, where I was living, and said, you know, what about this? And they said, well, that's a really old thing, but if you demonstrate it and can start next week, I'll give it a go. And so I became a demonstrator of this product. And it was a cold February, and there weren't that many people in the shop, and all the other people saying, oh, it's not such a good day today because there's not many people. But I was just naturally enthusiastic and knew no different. So if there was a crowd in the shop, they were around where I was demonstrating. And from that, I became the best demonstrator they had with the best-selling product they had. And so I did this for a couple of years with some other products, built up a demonstration business. But Hamleys used to be very famous for magic, and in the late 80s it was ailing, it wasn't so good, and they said, you must know about magic, you know, any ideas where we can get some? And to me that was my light bulb moment, because I've always been quite entrepreneurial. I thought, well, give me a couple of months or so to research it, and I did. And I came up with launching at Halloween, October 1987, the Marvin's Magic first range, which was beautiful gift boxes, very standardized silver boxes with our little Marvin's Magic logo, with red tissue paper inside, nice clear instructions, well-presented tricks that fitted inside the box, obviously, and that was the criteria, as long as it fitted in the two sizes of boxes we had, and to demonstrate it with really good magicians. That was the key. And we launched it in 6 stores in that time.
It's crazy. I mean, because all the production. I mean, how old were you when you approached Hamleys for?
Well, but I was then probably mid-20s or so. But bear in mind, I'd already had 1 or 2 successful businesses simultaneously. You know, I was, you know, with the other businesses, we had a school supply business, which was successful. With representatives, we had this demonstration business. So we were always doing things, but this was a division, an offshoot of that. And then obviously soon it became our main business, because now it's in 60 countries. It's worldwide. There's 4 sides to our business. There's the demonstration business, There's the what we call trade business, which is selling to the likes of Costco and designing magic sets for supermarkets and that type of thing. And then there's our online business, and then the shows that we do. So 4 different areas of the business, and we're always working on all of them simultaneously.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, what you accomplish is something that no one ever. I mean, it's so difficult. I mean, you know, I know because a few years ago, because I also had a magic shop when I was 18, and I tried to sell magic to Fnac here in Portugal. And it's so hard to approach those people. I mean, how do you approach Emily's? I mean, it's very difficult because there are big companies, there are big stores. I'm sure they are pitched almost every day with people with new. Yeah. So it's something really hard what you have accomplished.
I mean, you know, you've got a fantastic business and a great setup here, and very innovative. And I think the one thing that has made you successful and stand out from everyone is exactly it's passion and belief. And if you've got something which is really that you believe and an enthusiasm and you have an expertise and people want to be part of that. So interesting though, from Hamleys, which was going quite successfully with this drawing board, I took it to Harrods, which is obviously another huge store in London. Mm-hmm. And the old buyer, you know, it was this old guy, very famous in the industry looking back. And I was an 18, 19-year-old kid showing him this product. And he literally, he picked up this drawing board with a pair of tweezers, and he looked over his glasses and he put it into the dustbin and he said, "Not that old stinker." And I'm thinking, and I was, you know, could have been deflated or demoralized, but instead it inspired me, because instead of going to him, which was on the 3rd floor at the time, we took it a few weeks later to the art and craft department on the ground floor. And they have a 1-week promotion for art and craft where we demonstrated this product very successfully, and it's been there since now 40 years.
Really?
So every day we've been selling it, and from that we went on to sell into TV shopping this product, and the numbers would stagger you. It's obscene, because when we did TV shopping, for example, we did QVC, which is the shopping channel in the UK, and they launched in '94, I think it was, in the UK, and they said, we've seen your products around. We'd love to get some on there, because normally TV shopping is very boring. You see the jewelry and they just move it to see, can you see it moving? If I do, it's that type of thing. So they wanted to get lots of new names looking at it, and they used magic for that.
It's crazy.
So we had a 2-hour magic show on that, which is really had to be on. So I did 125 hours live TV. It was really, really good background, but we earned the opportunity from that sliding doors to do QVC in America, and that goes into 63 million homes. And so we had 2 one-hour shows there, Marvin's Magic with Marvin Berglas, and they bought for the first show in November 8,000 units, and for the second show in December 10,000 units. Now,
it's amazing.
Bear in mind, it sounds exciting, but as a young, small company, we had to invest in the stock. We had to get it over there, wrap each one of them up like mail order with its own label and things like this. And the worst part, João, was that if it didn't sell, it was all coming back. So
really?
It was a big pressure.
A big bet.
Big pressure, and then you're in the lights on the TV. Anyway, thankfully, the magic was okay, but the drawing board there, I sold all 18,000 in 4 minutes. And
really? In 4 minutes?
In 4 minutes. They have 1,000 people on the switchboard taking the order, and they said, "Wow, this is great. How quickly can you get some more?" So we got, the next batch was 36,000 units, which was a few weeks later, which is a container load. I sold all of those in the weekend. Then
56,000. It's unbelievable.
Then a few weeks later, 54,000. My record was 93,000 units in one weekend. So this was the product the guy said, "Not that old stinker." And it was old, remember this product when I did
Crazy.
it. But it's just a question of bringing it to life again, and having the passion, and then developing it and making a new demonstration and taking it to a new market. And, and from that, it was one of the most successful products for this big conglomerate in America. They partnered with us and they made direct response TV commercials. In other words, they put it out on all the children's TV show and paid for all advertising, and they called it Marvin's Magic. So it was a good way of launching my product.
Of course.
And that old stinker, as they said, we went on to sell 5 million units.
Really?
It's obscene, I know, but it's just those things don't happen every day. But there we go. That helped. And for the magic side of things, the criteria of that drawing board still holds firm for me because it has a start, a middle, and a finish, and it's very demonstrable, and it's very eye-catching, and it's easy to do, and it has a good purpose. So I use that same principle for all the products that we come up with.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So it's probably the most successful magic product in history. I mean, no one can sell more.
No,
I mean, I sell magic, but
no,
those numbers are crazy, of course.
Yeah,
it's for the lay people market. It's crazy. So you still sell though that drawing board, of course.
Yeah, but much less than now, because that was when we focused on that. But now we try to replicate that with different things, and you never quite get those areas of success, but they're still very successful in other products. And we come up with new products all the time and keep on trying different things. And
of course,
yeah.
I really think as well that innovation is important in magic. It's something that you have accomplished. Do you think it's hard to innovate on magic because everything has been invented before? Do you think it's something?
Well, you would know that well, because you are at the forefront of innovation. With people look at your ideas and in the same way they do with us. And I think what it is that we are often, like you, looking to solve problems. Mm-hmm. So we shift the focus very much onto the end user, and we look at some traditional ideas, some things that have been around for a long time, which we know work, we know are great, but if we can find a different solution to make them more up to date,
yes.
using some technology, or for example, now we had a product some years ago which won many awards called Marvin's iMagic, which was a thing which has bonus tricks with augmented reality.
Yeah, you showed me that in Blackpool a few years back, and I was blown away. I mean, I was like, you show me the app, you show me the augmented reality with your logo there, the little magic, the character, exactly. It was unbelievable. I mean, you must have also a great team to make all of this.
Yeah, we do. But again, the idea is like we have our own in-house, very close team, of which I head the product development side of things, and I work with some trusted people. And most of the ideas come from us, and then we find solutions to get them made and stuff. And now this iMagic, we actually give this app free on all of our products because we've had a year or two of selling it, etc. So now it's just a bonus thing. So, for example, every one of our tricks has the app so that people can see video instructions to see how it's done. It has bonus tricks, which are really clever. Like one of the tricks I love is this, that little trick with where you put a dice in a canister and then into another canister, and then it's been.
You need to know which number it's
exactly,
on top.
And
yes.
you know which way, because there's a little method which
Yeah.
But with us, we have a COD explanation. In other words, a false explanation where you put your camera over it and you say to the person after you've revealed it, look, this is how I did. I've got a $250,000 X-ray machine here in my phone. And it scans over the actual top of it and shows you three-dimensional inside, like an X-ray.
So it's augmented reality with the real prop
exactly.
itself.
So we combine, this is very much our philosophy, to combine the items that are inside with extra technology. In the same way you might say, I've got my phone here and my phone's got a bug in it. Oh, it really has. And then you show a fly flying around inside your phone. You would then...
catch it with
a paddle to do a fly swat thing. So it's three-dimensional. You do your paddle moves and make him jump across, put it back in your phone, blow on it, it freezes over. So, my phone's frozen. You wipe it away, the frost, and then now the fly is inside your phone in an ice cube. You shake the phone, and an ice cube with a fly, a real one, just falls into your drink. And things like this, just extra fabulous little things.
But it's amazing. Those concepts might be simple, but they are not. I mean, you need to make them happen, and you need to make thousands of them. Yeah. So it's amazing.
Yeah, we enjoy it, and we as I said, most of it's done in house, and we come up with ideas. But we also we work sometimes with a team or outside people who come in, and we develop ideas depending on themes. Generally, when you work in retail as we do, people want new stuff all the time, but we have to also be careful to give different retailers different things, so they're not always competing or different from online and stuff. So we have variations. We have hundreds of different variations of products.
Yes.
Right now we're working very closely with very much it's sort of instant magic, which is really what people want to see. So there's like Instagram, TikTok type of things.
Yes.
So that's that generation, and we've got some great things coming out on that.
And you are always thinking on the new magic sets, new things. You are always thinking.
Yeah, we're always working a year ahead because the calendar for getting it into retail is that we would be sharing it with our key customers, the ideas in maybe November to December, and then a trade fair in January, February, and then if they like it, they'd be placing orders about April. We'd be manufacturing it then in June, and then supplying it to them in August, September for them to sell in December.
I see, it's amazing. So you have sold thousands and thousands of magic sets. I mean, it's crazy because I'm one of the very few persons that are into magic because of you. So it's amazing what you have really accomplished.
It makes me feel very old, but very proud as well because especially at a big convention of magic. When people come up to me and said it's because of you I started magic, that really does make me feel proud. Not just the hundreds of thousands of hobbyists, but now, as you say, people like yourself who are at the top of their game, professionals, professional magicians and presenters all around the world. So I'm really proud of that great legacy.
Yes, 100%. And when you decided to launch this drawing board, your father, which is of course was very famous and one of the best magicians, he supported you along this journey because this is something totally different that he has never done before.
Yeah.
So
there's a concept. People assume maybe that my father was involved in the business, but he wasn't. It was something I did from start to finish. Obviously, his influence was huge in terms of the belief of nothing is impossible. I take this from him all the time. But he was an exceptional performer, as you know. I mean, he was, and his was very hard to replicate because the Berglas effect, which is the any card at any number without touching the deck, etc., is legendary and one of the few magic moves that has someone's name in it. So he's like how to describe impresario, not impresario. Sorry, he's more of a jazz. Pianist who could do all sorts of things and go off in different directions. And I absolutely didn't want to be compared to him, because it's his unique thing. So I wanted to do my own thing. So I thought it was very important that I went.
And he was supportive of your work, and I'm sure he was very proud because
he was very proud. And it was the best thing he was old school, so he was, maybe compared to my kids now who are, it's a different relationship. But we spoke a lot about magic, and I really miss him, so coming back from a gig, I'd always, give him a call and speak about things. And obviously it's sad that he's no longer with us, but he had such a fantastic life and was respected. So it was, really great. And I'm really proud that he saw me become president of the Magic Circle.
Yes.
As he was, because we were the first father and son in the 120-year history that ever happened to.
One time I was very happy because you called me. It was the first time I was in vacations and you called me. I didn't know it was you. I was, Marvin Berglas just called me. I don't know if you recall this. And you told me that your father was amazed with one of my inventions, which is the timeless.
Yes.
Which is the watch.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my God. And then I shipped the unit to you, and it was really, it was our first ever contact. I think. It was really good.
Yeah, no, I think I thought our first ever contact maybe was it in FISM or what year what was your first FISM that you went to?
It was in Stockholm, 2000 something. I don't really recall. But
so we were
yes,
there as well.
In Stockholm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that was amazing. I've always kept an eye on your things, and you've really done some amazing things, and I'm very proud that we're friends now.
Yeah, thank you so much. The same. It's mutual.
But talking about Dad, one last story, which whilst he maybe wouldn't say always that he's proud, or very few times, I know he was. He had this fantastic book, The Mind of David Berglas, and it's all about his life in films and stage and TV, amazing career. And the story he finishes with, he said, I'm an old man now, I'm walking in Regent's Park in London, lovely flowers, the ducks are there, and I see these two young women looking at me, and they're coming closer and closer, and I'm thinking, why are they coming? So I hold my stomach in. He said, quite attractive young girls or young women rather. And he's thinking, why are they going to come up to me? Is it because I was president of the Magic Circle? Is it because I was the first guy on TV to have a TV series in Magic? And they finally get up to him and they said, are you really the father of Marvin Berglas?
Wow.
So
wow.
that was a lovely story.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was a nice way. Nice way for him to
That's great. That's crazy. So, so you also have the Marvin's Magic Academy, right?
Yeah, we have. Well, this is a fun thing. This is in Sardinia, in a place called Forte Village, which is a beautiful luxury sort of holiday resort. And they approached us, which happens now because of our brand is quite well known, which is really nice when people come to you. And so this is sort of, they have a tennis academy, a football academy, Real Madrid football academy, rugby, chess, fencing, everything, and chefs doing, famous chefs doing various restaurants. But they have a magic academy, Marvin's Magic Academy. And so one of my good friends, Michael J. Fitch, is our host. I go out there maybe 1 week, he goes out there maybe 5 weeks or so of the year. And during the summer we have they put on magic lessons for the kids in different age groups, and there's a wonderful theatre, outdoor theatre, where they put on some top shows, and so it's all branded and it's good PR.
Yes.
Plus we get a holiday from it, so why not?
And no, it's good that you are also teaching young kids to learn.
Yeah, well, it's more about the presentation. It's very important, showmanship. I mean, magic is great for kids because it is confidence building, of course.
Yes,
and it teaches them. I actually genuinely believe magic should be taught in schools because I think.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah,
it's a pity that it's not considered like an art during the. I mean, it's an art, of course, but it's not like you can have music lessons but not magic. It's something we need to try to change perhaps in the future.
Well, there's various places that in the UK where we're doing some tests and working with various county councils where they are doing certain things, and it's really shown there's some proof that the attention of the kids is much more. It helps the confidence. And even in for mental health and stuff, it's very good. It's good for coordination and many things. So
it is. Yeah, it really is for social things, and because you can grab one of Marvin's magic tricks and be like the star of the the night. It's crazy.
Exactly.
So it's really amazing. If someone wants to start in magic, and what will be your advice to be successful? Not creating magic, because I honestly believe that what you have done is very, very, very hard to replicate nowadays. Especially, I think it's like the same as what David Copperfield did back when he's in his own specials. I mean, it's very hard to reach that level of it's very, very, very hard. But if someone wants to be a successful magician and make a living out of magic, what will be your best advice? Following the passion, or there are more business technical things that you would advise them to follow?
Well, my story is really an instinctive story. It's stuff that I've done, but I look back actually, and what I have done is probably classic marketing without realizing it. It came naturally to me. But so for people starting out in magic as a hobbyist, and there's some great magicians out there, and in the old days you used to say an old guy would go into the magic club and ask the kids, show me your double lift or whatever, and they said, no, you should do it like this. Now you ask one of the youngsters to show you something, that's fantastic. It's better than I could do. It's amazing. They've learned so many things. The access to information is great, but the access of information generally tends to be technical things. And as we know, showing and knowing how to do a trick is one thing, but showmanship is so much more important.
I agree.
And that's really key, that you're able to combine your dexterity and skills with showmanship. Is it entertaining? Right. If it is entertaining, we're in show business. And however entertaining it is, if people don't know about it, you might be disappointed that you haven't got as many gigs as you want or whatever. So marketing is key, and show business, 2 words. You've got to put as much effort into the business side as you do as the show side.
Yes, I think that magicians normally are, I give some lectures in Blackpool and all over the world, and I always say this. I think that if a magician wants to reach a higher level, I think it should have someone booking the shows for him. I mean, because I think he needs to focus on the magic. If he has someone working 8 hours, I mean, every day to book shows, to do the marketing, do the emails, you'll have more shows. And some of our viewers might be seeing this now, oh, but I don't have money to invest, or yes, but try to grab a friend in the journey to start with and give him, for example, the percentage of the shows. You know, I think this is the way to go. Because Marvin, you have a team like I do. I mean, we can't do everything.
No, absolutely.
You know, we have to have great designers, great video makers. I mean, great minds in marketing to help us creating the magic that we do.
Yeah, but it should, you know, it's a big jump for someone to employ someone full time if you're just starting out. So you have to, you know, when you start out, you find there's normally a ratio that for every show you do, you're giving out maybe cards, business cards, and you maybe get 1 more show from that. And as you get better, you maybe get 2 shows and stuff. But word of mouth and people seeing you is actually more important than just booking a magician, because then it comes down to price. So you have to have something which is a little bit unique. You have to have passion and belief, and
that's the most important thing.
Yeah, I think, and I think if you, although it's you might want to say, leave me to it, I'm the showman, and creativity, leave me in a room with soft music and feed me grapes, and expect the shows to come to you. No, you probably need to create some lead generators initially. When you're doing a lot and you're making money and people are making money out of you, be it management or agencies, then of course they're going to throw money at it as well, but they're going to do it for the reasons that they're making money out of it, and that's how it works. But when you start off, you do things gradually, and it's a calculated risk, and you can see where you're going with it. But for me, I must say, it's always been one opportunity has led to another. And I think if you're reliable and you've got integrity, and as I said before, passion and belief, that's the key. And I feel, like negotiation of fees is something which some people are uncomfortable about, or even the magicians approaching their first table, they're uncomfortable about. I think these are skills that you learn. And for me, let's just say there was something I said in my lecture at Blackpool, I think, was that in closing the sale, it might take you 10 years to learn the skills to be able to charge, for argument's sake, let's say £500 or dollars or euros for your show. But it takes you 10 minutes to learn the words that will sell the same show to the same client for $1,000. Think about it. That's 10 years for your first 500, 10 minutes for the second. So it's just a question of that.
Yes. For example, it also depends on the customer, because if the magician says a very low value, the customer might want a better magician, So that happened. This is one very small example. I had a good friend of mine that says, João, this big company wants to hire me, and I don't know how much I should charge. Like, I'm thinking, because it's a big company, and I have a few years, but I'm not really the best, perhaps 500. And I said, but if you say 500, they won't hire you. And he said, oh, do you think it's too much? No, it's too less, because that company wants to hire someone which has a high value, because that will give more trust and respect, and they'll be sure that you are good. So these kind of things, I think that we learn through experience.
Exactly.
And that's it.
From that story, it's exactly the same. Just for example, it was a big company. They want to impress their clients. They've come up maybe with a new ideal product, so they've got their best clients in a nice venue with good catering and food, and the entertainment has to be good. And they're not going to. I always say, for example, if they have a violinist, and the violinist is one price, but there's a much cheaper violinist who's not so good, of course you don't want the bad violinist. You'd rather have no violinist or no magician.
Yes.
So they want the good. They want it to be reflective, so people remember the food and the entertainment associated with their product. So as you say, so the way to do that is to ask questions and listen first. So when the gig comes in, you ask questions. How many people? Where's it going to be? What type of thing you're looking for, etc., etc., and then it gives you an idea of the conditions. But more importantly, it gives you an idea of the value that your client has put on it, and then you can decide. And maybe you could say, if you're trying to up your fees, and as long as you're good and you're not spoiling, and you're realistic with it, if you're capable of it, of course, ask questions, and then you can say, well, if I'm doing mix and mingle magic, it's this price. But if you like, I can also do something for the whole room, and it'll be extra, less because I'm there anyway. But and all of a sudden you're going up, or I can do something special with your brand, and there's so many opportunities.
Yes,
listening first.
Yes,
really
we should be good listeners, and we must keep humble.
Yeah,
I think that we must really be humble, because I mean, everyone in this life will go to the same place, right? Everyone, we're all gonna die someday. And we must stay humble, and we must learn, because I've seen some magicians with big egos, and this is not the way to go. If you want to go further, you must be a good listener, be good to people, and share as well.
I agree entirely. That's really, really important.
Yeah. So Marvin, you have a very successful business, as everyone knows, but you are still performing, right? So it's something that you really enjoy. Is that right?
Yeah, I think it's really important, because you're only as good as your last show. So and with our art form, you have to practice, and it's really great. And I was always associated. I always mixed my passions, my hobbies, and my work. So I didn't know if I was working or playing. I was just doing them. When they're combined, then that's. You're successful when you don't know if you're working or playing. And my big thing was I loved football when I was younger, and then I approached the number one football team in London, which was Arsenal, and I became the first resident Premier League magician. And I literally went all around Europe with them and did match day hospitality, and it was wonderful. And then got a lot of gigs, got to know a lot of people, friends that I'm still many years later very close with, and so I loved doing things like that. Or I loved music, and there was a band I used to like when I was younger. I remember couldn't get into a nightclub or a concert they were doing. Now I'm their magic consultant. I mean, I believe things happen for a reason, and I just think that's great. So I've always enjoyed doing that, and I think it gives you a lot of fun and power to do that. And
amazing.
But obviously we've got to combine it. There's different segments of our business, and we have a great team, as you suggested. And our first thing was demonstration. That's how we started off, which was in the likes of Hamleys and Harrods in London, and Selfridges in London.
In New York as well.
Yeah, we got a big one with FAO Schwartz in New York, in Rockefeller Plaza. And we run all the demonstrations there, and that's been really great for us, really important. And they're opening up in different places. We have one in Milan opening up. We're opening up in Paris this month, Naples, and we have demonstration in Dubai, Australia. It's crazy.
It's really crazy. The business continues to grow. It's amazing. And you never stop.
No, that's demonstration. And then there's the trade side, where we're making products for big store groups like Costco and supermarkets. And then can you imagine, though, during COVID, a whole business shut down because all the stores were shut. But rather than just get depressed about it, the opportunity, everyone's at home, and that's when our online business really took off. And now that's about a third of our business, through the likes of Amazon and things. So yeah, you always see opportunities, and be positive about it. I'm glass half full rather than glass half empty.
Right. That's absolutely amazing. Yes. So if someone has like an idea for a product, for example, a different company, a Japanese company, Tenyo, it's a totally different market, of course. It sells more for magicians. But if someone would love to have like their own invention in a future Marvin's Magic set, why not? How can they reach your company, for example?
You could definitely. I'd love that. We love that. We've worked with some great magicians from Kevin James, David Williamson, Michael Amar, Rich Wiseman, Charlie Fry. but we've also worked with a lot of lesser known magicians who've come up with ideas, and I've loved them to come to us. If it's something that we can incorporate, we will. We'll find a way. So just to contact me, Marvin at marvinsmagic.co.uk. Anytime. I'm always looking. The thing is, the criteria though, that's the important thing.
Yes.
Because, for example, there's two types of criteria. The first one is what we call a standalone demonstration trick. And there's so few of those that have got the test of time. They would be like the lights from anywhere,
dynamic coins,
the Svengali cards, the drawing board. Those would be
cups and balls.
Yeah, exactly. Something that is worthwhile demonstrating and just doing that. But there's many other smaller effects which will be what we call fillers within magic sets and stuff. Obviously, we're always looking for innovation. Card tricks is. There's really very few card tricks that we would put in there because you can achieve so much with the ones that we've already got.
Of course.
But if there's something with a gimmick and something which is we can manufacture, of course we acknowledge the inventor, the creator. We're helped to get it onto the market, and we would love any ideas. Always love to do some deal.
I assume for this purpose should be something that can be like surrounded or can be performed very easily. Must be visual. There are several criteria, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Maybe a little gimmick or something. But our market is professional magic made easy. In other words, they don't have to do knuckle busting skills for many years or months. They can almost do it within a minute or two.
I see. Great. That's it. So people appearing now also the email so they can contact you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Anytime. Yeah. So just so the context, because this is not really drawing. This is more.
Okay.
Just.
I'm recording with my phone.
So this is how it started. Your hands stay clean, and then you just wipe it away, and you put it in there. So that's a picture. Then when you're ready, you do the next one. And so, for example, very simple pictures. It's quick and simple, and it's ideal for traveling in a car or on a plane. Or
kids don't get their hands dirty.
Exactly. So this was how we started off, and this was I'll show you my favorite one.
It's amazing. I mean, I've never seen it in person.
No,
it's crazy. I have no idea how it works.
It's a very simple one. This is my favorite picture. A little twist like this. This is Marvin and Magic Space Monkey. 2 dots, the back of your nail. So it's a little monkey or alien, and then you give him a bow tie, and you follow a line like this. And so he's floating in space, and then if you follow a line like this and brush it, you get effect from a planet with craters and stars, like that. There you go. That's
so, and you can clean it.
Yeah, you're just ready to do it. Yeah,
it works forever.
Yeah. It's because nothing to run out. It's all inside. So this was a good product, and it's also very educational. For example, if you say spell out meow and you go MEOW, you see what animal makes the noise by joining it together. And you get a pig. But what you expect for $10, you know? Yeah, it's a fun item.
It's amazing.
Yeah. You could do some really good things about it. Anyway, it's enough. But there we go. So I used to be able to talk about this for 1 minute or for an hour, whatever. 2 faces. Actually, this one's got bigger nose. There we go.
Yeah. I have no idea how it works. I'm literally fooled.
No, it's not a trick. It's more just a fun thing.
Yes, but it looks like magic because you clean it and you paint it and.
Yeah, but in the same way, we'll be doing coming up with tricks. You say, ways of coming up with tricks. So, for example, if I was to show you, and I wanted to find, let's say, the 4 aces. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, see where they are. You can see that. Okay, so this would be sleight of hand version, right? Which is finding the 4 aces. The first one was here, like this. I don't know if that can see that.
Yes.
And the second one was a bit further down. Here. There we go. The next one was just like that. So that, and then the last one was much harder because you got to go, and it's already on the table, you know.
It's right there.
But we know tricks like this where you can, so 1, 2, 3, 4 cards, and if you were to literally just twist it around like this, you get one turns over, and you turn it again, as you know. Another one turns over, and again, I don't know, and then it turns over. So this is stuff that us magicians learn and like doing. But, but most people wouldn't have the time or inclination to do exactly those types of things. So we find different ways of doing it. So for example, again, just using 4 cards, we have this item here, which is, so the equivalent for Marvin's Magic for that, which is knuckle busting, is this, which is just 4 cards. You get the 2 black kings are face up and the red kings are face down. Yet if I was just to twist them like this, they change places. I'll do that one more time. And they change back again. Now, some people say I use extra cards. I do. I use an ace and another ace. In fact, I use 1, 2, 3, 4 aces. And that looks like a real magic for people just starting out. But
100%.
that looks exactly the same. And that's a very simple thing, which could be taught in a minute or 2 compared to that. That's the sort of thing we're talking about.
Yeah. So, Marvin, thank you so much. It was a true pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's a great honor. I'm really impressed with the what you've come up with, and I think there's such a wonderful synergy between us because we're in slightly different markets. You know, you're specializing in magic for top magicians all around the world. You've got some great innovation, and I like to think that we're doing the same, you know, in our markets. And
yes,
I'm impressed with the setup, and it's wonderful to be here.
Thank you so much, Marvin. Thank you so much. It was a true pleasure to have someone which was really one of the most, one of the main responsible persons for my work.
Thank you. I'm very
Thank you very much.
Thank you.